You guys, I missed you. Get your drink. Let's podcast. It's hot as balls outside right now. So instead of doing the responsible thing and working out, which is what I was originally going to do, I decided that I would rather podcast and talk to all my friends instead and partake in this orange and pineapple juice mixture. Whew! I forgot to mention the tequila. High five. Let's get this potty started. Now, I'm serious. Go get your drink. Hey guys, Chevy Rel here. For those of you who don't know me, as per usual, little I up here somewheres, introduction, if you want to know about me. If not, let's get on to the stuff. As we are in the stuff room, and in the stuff room, we talk about stuff. Mostly knitting, sometimes not knitting. Like FYI, what I'm wearing today. Let me just show you this DIY awesomeness. Right? I mean, my fringes. Okay, so forever, I always said whenever we went to the fair, I used to joke that I wanted one of those like wolves howling at the moon, like with lightning bolts, or a white tiger. And this might sound mean, and I don't mean for it to be bullyish at all. But whenever I see those, I always think of like some dude who lives in his mom's basement and has ferrets. But I wanted one, dang it. I did not buy it from the fair, even though that would be a way better story. I just so happened to find this shirt on the deep discount sale bin at Meijer for $3. And it was a triple extra large. So I cut the sleeves off. I took like a bunch of inches off the sides, and then I cut off the bottom and made fringes. That's what I'm wearing. No knits in this, where am I? Indiana summer. It's like 90 something degrees out right now. It's ridiculous. And I really wanted to skate, damn it. Mother Nature messing up my plans. However, I am glad that I'm here with you, so let's get on to the stuff. I'm babbling. I've barely even started drinking yet. I feel like I'm going to be doing a lot of babbling this episode just because I have things to talk about that sorry, Olive's sitting right here on the foof. And she keeps moving and I'm scared she's gonna fall off. I do not want her to fall off. And now I'm messing up the camera. That's what I get for full of shit. So I'm going to be all over the place because my events and my enabling and everything seem to be intertwined with my FOs and works in progress. So nothing's really going to be in order, I'm thinking. My only finished object this week is a skein of yarn. Now, I don't know, some of you may have seen my single. Actually, a lot of you have probably seen my singles. It did get quite a few likes. I posted just the bobbins of this prior to me spinning it. The reason that I spun it, because it's not like I don't have enough on the needles, right? Allegan, Michigan Fiber Festival is August something. It's like the second or third weekend. I'll link it. Michigan, Allegan, Michigan. If y'all can go, you need to go because it's going to be awesome. I've mentioned before that Allegan, or the Michigan, I just call it Allegan. It's the Michigan Fiber Festival. It's kind of like everybody calls Rhinebeck, and it's really like New York sheep and wool. No, Maryland sheep and wool. New York. Whatever the real name of Rhinebeck is, everybody just calls it Rhinebeck. Allegan is the Michigan Fiber Festival, and I just, everybody I know calls it Allegan. You going to Allegan? You going to Allegan? Yeah, I'm going to Allegan. So I'm going to Allegan this year. Anybody who isn't going to Allegan, change your plans and come to Allegan because it's a lot of fun. We are camping on premises, so I will be there. Dan will be there. The pups will be there. I will have the ability to go get high on yarn fumes, come home, take a nap, come home, aka the trailer, the camper, the RV, the travel trailer, whatever y'all call it. I always grew up calling it a camper. Dan calls it a trailer and says that the camper is an incorrect word for it. However, my grandparents always called it a camper. Viewer question of the week. Camper? RV? Travel trailer? Trailer? What you think? Anyway, I'm gonna call it home for sake of this argument. I can go home and take a nap, and then I can go back out and do more fiber festivities. If I meet friends there, which I hope I meet friends there, if any of you are going, you need to come say hello to me. We can go back to the campsite and knit, yo. Anyway, I called there to get some more information about the camping situation, and I got a hold of, they had a phone number, which I was totally anticipating it being some like fair office, you know, push this button, leave a message thing. A gal answers. It's Sue. She's the event coordinator for the Fiber Festival. She answered the phone, Michigan Fiber Festival. I was on the phone with her for like 20 minutes. She's awesome. I'm super excited to meet her. She was so nice. I love feeling welcomed at an event. Now, I've said before, the fiber community is typically awesome in that regard. However, that's a new one. However, every once in a while, you will get somebody who might not be very friendly. And a lot of times I feel like that is usually somebody in an event planner type role, only because they are so stressed out, like planning the event. It takes a lot of work. And I am not discounting or discrediting that at all. I get it. So if I talk to somebody in the planning type scenario of a fiber event and they are short with me, I do not take that personal at all. Like, I get it. Y'all have been under pressure. Like, we're just excited we get to go to the event, and this is something that you guys have been living and breathing for months and months, right? That being said, I almost feel like because she was in that or is in that situation and was so flipping nice, it made me like 10 times more excited to go to the event. And I got online, I was looking at all the camping stuff, and I just so happened, which I thought I had it here. No. As I was milling around their website, which if y'all are interested, go check out their website because it is full of information. It says what vendors are gonna be there. She rattled off some that she was super excited about. There's people coming from California. Like there's some pretty rad ass peeps coming to Allegan this year. I was mainly on there for the camping, and of course I poked around. I have never taken a class. I feel like the classes for me would be, and this is totally my hang up, I could be way off topic here.
Well, of course I am way off topic as far as what I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't mean off topic for the fiber, good grief.
Let's just have another drink. Let me try it again. I feel like whenever I look at classes at any of these events, they're really not classes that speak to me or I feel like I want to do at that time. The other thing, I am not good in a classroom setting. I know that sounds so dumb. Okay, you know how there are people when they're trying to lose weight and they join a gym and they say that the reason that they join the gym is because they need that accountability. Like, I feel like if I'm paying for it, I will be more prone to go. Or if I sign up for a workout class, I will be more prone to go because I'll feel guilty not going. That is so not me. It makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like going there. I'm a self-motivator. If I want to learn something, I will watch a video on YouTube. So, all of you class lovers, maybe you can sell me on taking a class. I hear how awesome they all are, and I don't know, like I haven't really seen the class that I want to do. Back when I very first started spinning, Olive's hot. If you hear snorting, it's old girl over here. Let's just take one more peek at her because she's cute. Say hi. Say hello to all the viewers. Say hi to Mama's viewers. You're so cute with your snaggletooths. Olive says hi, everyone. Okay. I don't even know where I was now. Back when I'm crooked. Good grief. Back when I first started spinning and I was big time into wanting to learn art yarn, I really, really wanted to take a class from Jacey Boggs, and I always looked at any of the places that I was going. I always looked to see if maybe she was going to be there, and she never was. But really, that's the only class I've ever seen that I really wanted to take. I was looking at the classes just to see, since we're going to be up there, just to see if there was anything that struck my fancy. Well, as I was looking at the classes, I noticed the Skein competition. I have never done that. And you know, you've seen my art yarn. And I noticed that art yarn, let me just look on here. If any of you are interested, all of this information is on their website. Their categories are children under 11, children 12 to 17, adults intermediate, which would be like me, and advanced adults. And advanced adults is if you have won a first place award in any competition or have taught spinning. I thought, I have all this awesome art yarn. I'm like, I could enter Skein in my art yarn. You know, nobody's ever really seen it except for you guys. I've shown you guys on the podcast, but you know, like, just to lay it on the table. I don't even care about winning. I just thought it'd be cool to like put something out there for people to see, especially people who aren't art yarn spinners. So then I'm reading, and it must have been spun after August 2017. Well, I really don't have any cool art yarn that I've spun after that, so I got in my stash and spun some. I decided to do coils, which I don't know if this is gonna show up or not. Here again, I'm blind because it's really bright. So the white is Corriedale, or the natural color, it's not white. And then the green is something that I can't pronounce. You know me and the pronunciations. You'll have to help me out. What's that say? What's that say right there? I love their fiber. It's awesome. I bought this forever ago. This is deep, deep stash. And it's the forest color. Well, I don't even know. It says forest Norwegian. And I was going to look this up in my fiber book. I think Norwegian's the fiber, right? And then forest is probably the colorway. If Norwegian is the wool or type of sheep, I have never spun that before. It was very toothy. I spun this short forward draw, so it is a worsted spun. I was going for thicker. This is only 40 yards. The Corriedale was 1.6 ounces, and I used all of it. And then the Norwegian was 3.7 ounces, but there's still some left on the bobbin. I have not weighed the skein yet. However, actually,
Like that armpit shot there?
I don't know. So, I mean, it's gonna spin because of the coils. Oh, sorry. I'm terrible at this game. For those of you who aren't spinners, when you take your skein off the Knitty Knotty, the whole point, or not the whole point, but what you want to shoot for is what is called a balanced skein, and or a spin, a balanced spin. And what balanced means is that when you take it off, it will hang just like this. Like, you take it off the Knitty Knotty and it'll stay like this. If it twists on itself, like mine is, that means that it's overspun. That being said, because of these coils and the way you have to spin in order to spin these coils, it's going to be overspun. It was way overspun when I initially took it off the Knitty Knotty. This is washed and thwacked, and it's not overspinning too bad. Because I've never entered a skein in a competition or to be judged. And like I said, I don't care if I win anything. It's more about people being able to see the coils in person. And I might spin some others too. I'm thinking about spinning some. I really enjoy coils and, you know, like thick and thin slubs and clouds, and they have all sorts of names for them. Ooh, hold on just a second. I forgot I was going to bring this book. Any of you who are interested in spinning and or extending your sort of spinning palette, highly, highly suggest this book. This is the Spinner's Book of Yarn Designs, Techniques for Creating 80 Yarns. It's by Sarah Anderson, and it's amazing. Let me just find the coils for you. Here is an entire chapter on core yarns, and then she breaks it down. This is a 2-ply coil, and she shows you here, I don't know if I'm allowed to show you this, it's no different than Amazon showing you like 5 pages, right? So she shows you, you take 2 plies and that's how you spin the coil. That's basically what I did here. This book is pages and pages and pages of tons of knowledge. There's like umpteen different ways to spin bouclés, which I have never spun ever. Beehives, cocoons, and halos. I might spin another one of those. Highly suggest this. I'm entering that one. I might spin another skein for Allegan. What do you guys think? Have any of you ever judged any spinning? Like I said, I have no idea what they're looking for. I don't know if I should even enter it because it's not balanced. Like, will they immediately look at it and be like, nah, because you're not supposed to hank it. It's supposed to be, let me look at their wording, which I thought was interesting. Do not twist into a tight skein. Please leave it hanging loosely. So I know that that's what they're looking for, is balance. I also know that not all core yarns are balanced. I know it's possible to spin a balanced core yarn. However, it's difficult. So I don't know. It's $2 to enter the skein. I might just do it and be like, whatever, at least it'll be on the table and people can see the different types of spinning. The last time I went up there were not a lot of novelty skeins that were entered. I think most people do not spin novelty yarns. I do spin balanced. However, I like fun, funky yarns. As far as knitting with it, I haven't really done it much. I basically just like looking at the pretty yarn. I feel like it's artwork. That was a whole lot of talking about that, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I'm not annoying the shit out of you with this olive thing, but she's so cute, I can't stand it. Look at that. Some people make you look at their kids. I can make you look at my dog, right? FYI, anybody who wants to show me puppies, animals of any sort, I'm down. Do you guys watch The Mean Girls? This is for Stephanie. Yarn beard. Whips.
Whips.
First up, my Peking. This Peking pattern is by Holli. Yeoh. I'm sorry, I apologize. It's the Peking pattern. It looks like this. It is a high-low, 2 lace panels. I said in the previous episode, I hate that I feel like I'm giving away juicy pattern information, but I'm gonna show it to you so you're going to figure it out. You knit both the lace panels and then you somehow build it off of there. The last time you saw this was here. I've not blocked it. I was going to wait until I got both panels done. This is the first panel, and I believe that it's the front panel. So the back panel I have even longer to go. This is what I have done so far on the back panel. I can't remember what I said the last time. This is not, how do I want to say it? This is called a Chinese lace, which I've seen multiple times, so I feel like it's a common lace type detail, kind of like there's certain names for cables. Here's the thing with this Chinese lace, people. It's not a lace that you can get into a rhythm doing. Like with cables, I can kind of get into a rhythm. With some laces that, you know, do this, you can get into a rhythm. This is all over the place. So you really have to pay attention. It's great car knitting or, you know, listening to a book or a podcast, but I can't knit on this in public at knitting. I have to pay attention. Shout out to my girl Melissa, Knitty By Nature. I love that so much. There's blue glitter in it. I suck at this podcast thing. Did I ever tell you that? This yarn is Plucky Traveler Sport. I can't remember the fiber content. Damn it. I want to say it's 65 merino, 25 silk, 15 yak. Does that add up? Hold on, I'm gonna go get the label. I was just trying to see if I could remember it. Not bad, not bad. I was 5 yards off on the silk, so no, the maths did not work. I see all those surprised faces out there because you know I'm so good at the maths. It is 65 superwash merino, 20 mulberry silk, 15% yak. And this is the pure
It's the pure Michigan.
Pure Michigan colorway. Next whip is half whip, half enabling because I finally cast on my Susu. This is the Susu pattern. I forgot to show it when I was talking about it, so I'm gonna throw it in here somewhere. Here it is. Or So-So, or I think it's Susu. Nobody's ever corrected me. If you know the right way to say it, let me know. But the Susu pattern by Nora Gone. I think it's Gone. This is what I have so far, which I believe this is, I know it is. This is the back. There is what the, well, hey, I'm a dumbass and showing you the back. How about I show you the front of it? Is this better? I'm such a dumbass. Okay, so that is the front of it. I don't know if you can really see the colorway all that great. Like I said, I can't see. There, it's gray with little rust spots in it. There, I can kind of see them. The cable is super fun. This is Plucky, which you guys, it was such an awesome mail day. I had 2 of these. It's like, yay. Okay, so this pattern calls for DK. For those of you who remember, I am using Plucky Solo in the deep dish colorway, and that is 475 yards, 80/20 superwash merino and silk, and I'm holding it double because Solo is a fingering. This is so much fun. I do feel like it's sort of a slower knit just because of it's a double moss, which I'm not giving anything away. You can see that if you look at it. But, you know, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl is a little slower, obviously, than like a stockinette. But I really am enjoying it. And that texture just makes me happy. The one thing that I noticed, and I don't know if this is a tension thing, it's super weird to me, but look at these panels right here. Okay, so they look lopsided to me. Like you can't, very professional. The yarn overs right here, like see there's 2 yarn overs, right? This yarn over, however I'm knitting, let me stretch it out. I feel like it's super, there it looks better. So I'm hoping that
That shit'll block right out.
that's what I'm hoping. to be determined. I have a ways to go. I believe you have to do 9 repeats for the back, and I've done 3. First off, it's being housed in my Kiku bag, which I've mentioned before. I absolutely love it. She has these super cute little, it's Kiku, Kiku. It's canvas. I love the strap. It's sparkly pink. I mean, come on. It's very close to a fringe field bag, whatever that bag everybody has in like the 985 different colors. Except I don't believe those have linings. And this has a lining. There's pockets. But you know, I'm holding fingering double, right? Right? You know me and my ball sacks. Thanks, Roberta, Steel City. Go get yourself some. So it's working out perfect. I do have to tell you, which those of you who follow me on Instagram know about, I had a knot. And not only did it suck because I was 150 stitches in when I got to it, but it hung up somewhere, like it made the inside of my ball messed up somehow. Like it pulled something up and behind something, and it was a knotted mess, and I had yarn barf. Like, as if it's not bad enough that I had a knot, but then I had to deal with this like yarn barf cake, which thankfully I had a ball sack, so it didn't get into the other one, but I had to like fight it for a while until I got to a point where I could like not have to fight with it. So, but we're past that. We're past that. It's all good. Just saying. It's been a very long time since I've come to a knot. And I get that they happen. And any of you people who don't know, or those of you who need a reminder, there is an industry standard, I believe, that you can have a knot for every like so many yards. I mean, Lion's brand, I'll have 3 knots in one of those skeins, and I just know it's gonna happen. It's just been so long since I've come to one that it sort of surprised me. And then I was, you know, having to fight it and yada yada. Moral of the story, you hit a speed bump, you suck it up, buttercup, back your way out because it's superwash and you can't spit splice, and you cut the knot out and you move on because life's too short. Okay, my next whip is a new whip, new cast on, enabling, and an outing. So it's all crammed into one. This is what I have so far, which doesn't look like much to y'all, but this is the sun shader hat, which, good grief, right here. It looks like that. I don't know how well you can see it. This hat came about because last weekend we went with another couple camping at Marblehead, which is in Ohio. For any of you who've ever heard of Put-in-Bay or Kelly's Island, it's right there. Marblehead's on the mainland, and then they have a ferry that's called like the Jet Express, and they have another, there's a couple boats that take you over to the islands. We stayed at the East Harbor State Park in Marblehead, and in the whole reason that we went there is because I went to, oh, you guys, I'm the longest storyteller ever, so I hope this doesn't like bore you to pieces. Rewind to last fall, went to a wedding with a friend, for a friend. Where they got married was the old Masonic Lodge, and they were married in this like really cool room upstairs. So it was sort of like amphitheater or like old court. They had chairs on the floor, but then there were all these seats, like, you know, bolted down to the floor like stadium seats, and a horseshoe around. Well, we were up high, so I could see all the people on the floor. This couple walks in, And have you ever seen those people that you're immediate, I mean, they just stand out. They were an older couple. Dude looked like a biker dude. He had white hair and a ponytail and a white goatee and had his sunglasses on, which I immediately started.
Like, I wear my sunglasses at night.
I mean, I couldn't help it immediately. Then I look at his wife, who had the most gorgeous, long white hair down to her ass, and was like, those people look cool. The wedding starts, and you know, like I'm looking all around. There were these little kids in front of us who were being ginormous pain in the asses, and I was giving them the dirty looks. And then they'd stop. Their mom kept asking them to stop doing stuff because they were being seriously holy terrors, like running up and down the aisles. And I will not forget these little kids, like, and they weren't listening to their mom. So then they were not listening, and they looked up at me, and as soon as they made eye contact with me, I was like, and they immediately stopped. Because I'm that mean lady that gives your kids dirty looks when they're not behaving. Sorry if that makes you mad. But hey, they stopped being loud, right? So anyway, staring at everybody. The chick is knitting. Through the entire wedding, she was knitting. So I'm like elbowing my best friend. I'm like, dude, look, she's knitting. I'm like, I need to meet these people, right? I need to meet them. So at the reception, I go over to Pete and Lindsay, and I'm like, who are these like totally rad ass people that I need to meet? They're sitting up there, yada yada. Here they're from the Cleveland area, and they're parents of one of the dudes in the wedding. I go up, I introduce myself, and I said, I was like, this is complete, you know how knitters are, right? I went up, and it was one of those awkward things. I totally acted like I knew, you know, I was all excited because I acted like I knew him because I felt like I did because she was a knitter, right? So they're like giving me that look like, oh, do we know you? And I was like, no, I'm just that psycho lady who's a knitter and saw you knitting at the wedding, and I immediately knew that I had to meet you. So she tells me, once she finds out that I spin and fibers like my game, you know, she asked if I'd ever been to Marblehead, and I said no. She was like, oh my gosh, there's a super cool store there. You have to see it. They have sheep and blah, blah. So I'm like, okay, we need to schedule a trip. So fast forward, we go there. The store is called Christie's Just For You, EWEU. I'll insert some pictures somewhere in here. But you pull in, there's this little gift shop up at the front. Now this is on the mainland. This is not on Kelly's Island. It's in Marblehead, which is mainland. And there's a little gift store up at the front. So you go in the back. To the right is the studio where they do classes. And the classes are, well, hold on. I have a brochure right here. Look at me go. Here it is, just for you. There's the gifts. Okay, that is where they do the classes. They have a sheep to shawl. It says spinning, knitting, dyeing, felting, floral design. I didn't see any of that. Weaving, crochet, basketry, knitting machines, needle felting, and you can rent a loom. So we go into the yarn shop. We meet the gal who works there. Christi is the owner, but the gal working was not Christi. She just works there. And she's telling us it was one of those yarn shops where there was hand spun, and they had Malabrigo, but there was a lot of hand spun in there and a lot of like funky yarns that you're not used to seeing, and designs everywhere, shop samples everywhere. I said, now do you sell these patterns? And she said, oh yeah, they're all Christie's. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And she said Christie's whole thing, and I did not get to meet Christi, which makes me sad, but she said Christie's whole thing is she will look at a pattern that is maybe really involved, and she tries to mimic it and make it not as hard. So all of her, like her whole thing is taking a pattern with a bunch of steps that she doesn't think you need to do and making it easier. We find this sun shader hat. I guess I can show you the yarn. We find this sun shader hat. She had these in kits. This is the yarn that I'm using. This is flax, which, dropping the label, Fibra Natura, natural fine hand knitting yarn. It's 100% linen. It says light 3, so I'm guessing that it's, what is that, fingering, which is this one. This is Rafi, and it is whatever this is. Yashiiro. It says Knit, Relax, Smile, Repeat by Universal Yarn. So Yashi is Japanese for palm tree. Please sit down, Olive. You're making me nervous. Yashi is Japanese for palm tree, where the raffia fiber comes from. Use yashi to knit and crochet hats, bags, home decor items, and more. The reason, my friend Sarah was with me, and we each got one of these kits. For those of you who have not knit with Rafi, it is, or raffia, it's, I don't even know how to explain it. It's almost like paper. We are going to an all-inclusive resort in Cancun in October. It's the first time I've ever been, will ever be going to an all-inclusive resort. I'm super excited about it. We saw these hats. These are not on Ravelry. This is not on Ravelry. She does have patterns on Ravelry, but not all of them. So we saw this hat, she had samples there, and thought that it would be perfect for the pool because you can get it wet. So that's why we picked that hat. I also bought 2 of Christi's other patterns. The No Sweat Summer Sweater, which this is not going, sorry, glare, this is not going to do this justice at all. This is on Ravelry. I loved this meshy part up here at the top, and you can't see it with what she's wearing, but this is a tie side. And she did that for seaming. Like, rather than seaming, why do you need a seam there? It's a summer top. It uses, she says, no sweat to knit, no sweat to wear it over a bathing suit, top, or cami. Why mess with seaming something when it's a summer shirt? So it's tied at the sides and looks so cute. Now, I will tell you, the thing with buying patterns that are not on Ravelry and multiple people have not knit and are not test knit, I have already found a needed errata in this pattern. So I am going to get a hold of her. I'm going to send her a message and just say, hey, has anyone ever said to you that this doesn't make sense? This one is also on Ravelry. It's the Lakeside All Season Shrug. Again, this picture does not do this justice at all. She had this sample in the shop. It was so cute. I tried it on. This is actually what she refers to as the coat. There's a shrug and a coat. This is long. The shrug was shorter. Not short like a shrug, but shorter than this one. So I will knit those someday. Remember on the last episode when I was like, if I haven't any enabling, that yeah. I had to support local, you guys. Back to the sun shader hat. I do have to say, as super cute as it is, which I'll show you again. See, first off, this happens constantly.
Constantly.
I'll show you again what it looks like. I love the colors so much. It is not what I would refer to as an enjoyable knit. For one, it makes me feel like I have arthritis in my pinky. I feel like I'm fighting it more than I'm knitting it, the stitches just jump off the needles. If I had woods or those lickas, which for all of you who don't know, they are pronounced licka. I do know that for as bad as at pronunciations as I am, I do know that it's pronounced licka. The licka needles would probably be a little better than the metal ones because they just jump off these needles. But this project is definitely a project, not a process knit. The hat's gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna be great for Florida. You can wad it up to pack it. I did have to fix that errata or whatnot, or I made do. I don't know if what I did was correct, so we'll see. I might have to rip out and start over. This might be a learning experience. Let's talk about what I'm housing this in, shall we? Catherine Otto, who is the maker behind Knotty Knitting Sacks, messaged me on Instagram and said, you have to check out my fuzzy ball sacks. I think you will love them. Okay. So she sent me, you guys, people are so flippin' nice. And I never would have found these because they're very unassuming. Of course, as soon as I saw the word naughty in the business name, I was like, ooh, you have my attention. I like things that are naughty, unless they're little kids in a wedding. I get this package and I open it, you guys. This is the bag. This is one of the bags. This is the bag that I have my Sunshader hat in. Here's her label. Knotty Knitter Sacks, Cumming, Georgia. Her name's Catherine. It's one of those, this is her fuzzy ball sack. Is that right? Yeah, fuzzy ball sack. So it has this little guy. It's like one of those Japanese knot bags. I flipping love it. So I was in love with it already, right? And I look inside and I'm like, oh, there's skeletons in there. That's cool. And I started looking at the other stuff, which let me find it. So she sent these needle muffs, which I need to figure out how to use these. I think that there should be a way that I could use these for circular needles. Mainly because I don't really use double points, and I think that's what these are for. Once in a blue moon, I will use double points. I'm going to try and see if I can figure out a way to use them with circulars. If not, and I'm hoping that it's okay with Catherine, I will include these in my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. Of course, being totally optimistic that will happen. But I will include these in a giveaway because they are too freaking cute to not use. So I'm looking at them and I was like, oh, this one has the same fabric that's on the inside of the bag. I was immediately in love. So then I get the bag and I'm like, what? So I turn it wrong side out. You guys, is this so up my alley or what? It's skeletons doing it. Dude, that should be the name of the episode. So then I'm looking, it's totally reversible. So if you're going someplace where you can be snarky, you can totally have the sex and skeletons on the outside. What? So then I'm looking at, she sent this one as well, which FYI has those baby booties I was mad at on the last episode. Yeah, I haven't touched them. This is her, I have it written down, zippered sack. She knows I love owls. She totally had my ticket, right? I love this huge fat plastic zipper. The reason that I like the big fat plastic zippers is because I feel like your knitting doesn't get stuck in them as much. Or your yarn, not your knitting. Because I'm that person that will like close it and then there's like yarn sticking up out of the zipper. It's like, you know, anyway. So I'm like, what's in the other bag? I want to know what's in the other bag. Look real close at that. Do me a favor and take a closer look at that fabric. Right. Are you kidding me? So that's what's inside this. So whoever gets if I give these away in the prize packs, you have to let me know that you like R-rated. I mean, are you kidding me? Where did she find this fabric? So go check her stuff out. I'm in love with it. And I show everyone that I see because I think it's hilarious. And you know, you surround yourself with like-minded people, right? So everyone I have shown also loves it. So that's what my sun shader hat is being housed in. And again, that's Catherine at Knotty Knitting Sacks. Of course, I will link her and go check out her super fun stuff. This is one of those yarns as well. I need a yarn condom, but I can't even do a yarn condom because it's not a center pulled ball. I could wind it, I suppose. Whatever. I'd rather just fight with it and bitch about it. My last whip is my drop sampler cloth, which, again, I can't remember what you saw the last time. I've basically been working in this area. I got this guy done, so that's that. Nothing. I work on this little by little. It is kind of nice because sometimes I'll just be sitting at the kitchen table talking to Dan, and it sits out there on the table, and it's nice because I can just pick it up and do a couple quick stitches and put it back down. There's not a lot of commitment there, so it's kind of nice to work on it little by little. I have 2 more enablings, neither of which I mentioned on the last podcast after I said I needed to stop buying things. However, this one I had purchased, I'd just forgotten. For those of you who don't watch Nancy Adams, who is Round Rabbit on YouTube, Instagram, you should go follow her right now. She's hilarious. She has bunnies. She's totally my speed. I think we both have snarky senses of humor, and she drinks on her podcast as well. We both enjoy the spirits. I do wish she'd podcast more, though. I always enjoy her podcast a lot. She is making what she's calling open out pouch. So this is her bag. Wait for it. Trust me. You open the zipper. It unhooks. You guys. How flippin' cool is that? It turns into a knitting box. There's her tag. Isn't that awesome? Here's the inside is just a navy blue. Check out the inside. It's navy. But I do love, she does like super fun patterns. I saw this one. I loved it. I stalked her for a while to get one of these. I forget, I saw it on somebody's story. She was like opening it, and I was like, what is that? That looks awesome. And then I saw how they worked, and of course I had to go get one for myself. So I turned on my push notifications, and my Susu sweater was in this until it grew out of it. So now I need to start a smaller package so that I can put
Small package.
I'm 12. Now I need to start a smaller project so that I can use it because it makes me super happy. Okay, the last enabling. Actually, I said that maybe I hadn't done that. Did I say? Gosh, now I don't remember. Did I mention the Swancho on the last podcast? Yeah, I think I did. I got a sale from Nitpicks and I got the Swancho, yada yada. I did. These were my colors. Now, these 3 are DK, the City Tweed DK. This is Sage. This is Obsidian. And this is Tahitian Pearl. Now, the main color is going to be Tahitian Pearl. The City Tweed DK is 55% merino wool, 25% superfine alpaca, 20% tweed. So this is really soft, the DK City Tweed. Their color palette for these were all kind of muted, and I really wanted a pop, which is where the Swish DK came in. This is Swish DK Marina, Swish DK in the Marina colorway, and it is 100% superwash merino. For those of you who don't know what the Swancho looks like, I printed out a few pictures because I'm this dork. I was trying to figure out my colors. I could not for the life of me figure it out. And you know, they always say like the black and white, you know, you get your colors and you take a picture in black and white, and if they're close, then you wouldn't, they're not gonna stand out and yada yada. Well, I tried that and yeah, whatever. So I did this. That's how this took me like a really long time. I hate to admit how much time I spent just stalking colors on Nitpicks. So I printed these out, and I was trying, this is the Swancho. I was trying to figure out like what color order I wanted things in. I believe, and I didn't even do this on purpose, I promise. This is similar, super similar to the colors that I chose. That being said, it will be a very long time before this is cast on. I have 2 sweaters on the needles already. I really wanted to put this on the needles, but I'm not letting myself because I need to be able to finish something. And if I have 3 sweaters on the needles, I'm going to feel like I'm never finishing anything. One thing that I've noticed while looking at the projects on Rav for the Swancho is I feel that the Swancho is sized funny. It's like a small to medium and a large to extra large, I think. Maybe there's 3, maybe there's even a double extra large. And it's supposed to have a lot of positive ease because it's supposed to be roomy and flowy. But when I looked at the projects, I felt, and this is personal opinion, totally personal opinion, because these people might have wanted it to fit that way. But there were quite a few that I felt would have looked better at a smaller size. So while I'm a size large, typically like a 38 large when I do sizing for sweaters, I'm going to do the small medium for this just because I felt like I didn't want to look like I was swimming in it. Like I wanted it to be positive ease, but I didn't want it to be so big it looked like it was overtaking me. So we'll see how that goes when I get there. Like I said, it'll be a while, but I'm super excited about it. I could swatch for it. Well, no, I'm not gonna swatch for it because I would swatch for it and then I wouldn't cast it on forever and my gauge would be off, and that's stupid. Don't do that. I take it back. One last thing, for all of you guys who enjoyed my Instagram tutorial, you should go over to a Lefty knitter. That is Aquilla Dahan. Aquilla Dahan. Tell me how to say it. I'm gonna mess it up. A Lefty knitter. Girl, tell me how to say your name so I don't look stupid anymore. It's Aquilla. Is that Aquilla? Aquilla Dahan is her Instagram handle, and her podcast is a Lefty knitter. I've mentioned her before. She's a lot of fun. She did, which I didn't know, this is news to me, you guys, because I don't do project pages like I said on the last episode. She did a tutorial on how you can use your Instagram photos to add them or to start project pages on Rav, and it's great. I'm gonna try it someday. I want to try it someday. I'm not gonna promise I'm gonna be any good at it, but it looks slick as snot, so I'm gonna try it. If you guys wanna know how to take your Instagram photos to start your project pages, go over, I'll link it. Check out her tutorial. It looks awesome. The other thing, if you don't follow her on Instagram, that's super cool. Her
Word vomit.
she and her husband did the Fiber Friends tag. I don't know if y'all remember that. I think that's the last time I mentioned her. It was super cute. But her husband started doing leather work. And it's just a hobby, but he made her this super cool belt. They had like knitter things on it. I know nothing about leather work, but you can clearly tell that there is art involved in it. And he's doing some pretty cool stuff that she has on her page. So if you're into that kind of thing, go check that out too. Let me know if you have any questions. Thumbs up, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. If you're going to Allegan, be sure and let me know so that I can meet you in the wild. I love meeting people in the wild. If you're not, you should look into that. It's gonna be fun. So until next time, I hope you enjoyed your beverage. I am going to go make myself another drink and knit. Since I have the little chunky monkey here, yes, I thought she could say goodbye as well. I know some of you enjoy pug sightings. Until next time, cheers. It's a cool place.